Hello, we meet again. In this video, titled Summer Beach Sofa, you will be taught to build model of sofa and fans to match in summer. Shift A to add the cute model and change the size of the model. Place Ctrl R to add the line for the cute model. Select one face on the top and place Alternate E, then select Extrude Manifold. Place Alternate C to open the X-ray tool. Shift A to add the cube model to create the cushions of the sofa. Shift D to copy the models and rotate it. Select the sofa's model. As the bevel modifies and change the segment to 5. As the bevel modifies to the cushion's model. Change the height of the sofa. Shift A to add the cylinder's model and change the size of the model. Select the face below and change the size. As the mirrors modify for the cylinder's models, mirrors X and Y. First, adjust the camera setting and camera's angle to see an overview of the model. Hold Shift and select two lines. Place Ctrl B to bevel the lines of the sofa. Change the value in the amount and segment. Place Ctrl R to add the line for the cushions to adjust the shape. Hold Shift and select 3 lines, and place Ctrl B to bevel the line. Select some lines and place Ctrl B to bevel the line. Shift A to add the stylized model to create the table. Shift A to add the stylized model to make table legs. Shift D to copy the stylized model and change the size. Add the mirrors modifier. Shift D to copy the stylized model and rotate it a little. Select one face, extrude, and change the size a little. Change the size of the tables to balance the sofa's model. Shift A to add the planes model and change the size to length to create the floor. Add the solidified modifier to add the thickness. Shift A to add the cube model to create the fans. Select one face and place I to insert the face inside. Extrude the face a little. Structure for increasing space and arrange it. Imagine fans. Shift A to add the UV spheres model. Select half of the face and delete the face. Hold Shift Alternate and choose a line to form a grid structure of the frame. Click right and select Converse to Curve. Change the extrude and depth. Shift A to add the cylinders model. Select one face and place I to insert the face inside and extrude down a little. Select all points, extrude and change the size inside. Extrude to add the thickness. Change the size of the structural frames. Add Bevel Modifier and change the segment to 5. Shift D to copy the model. Select all model. Rotate the models and example the fan structure. Change the size to balance the fans. Select the structures and add the Bevel Modifier. Adjust the size and shape of the fan slightly. Shift A to add the cylinder's model and change the size to create the fan's blade. Shift A to add the plane's model and place tab to enter edit mode. Press Ctrl R to add one line for the plane's model. Select some points and adjust them to create fan's blades. Add the subdivision surface and change the level to 2. Add the solidify modifier to add the thickness. Apply or modify to the fan's blades. Select all parts of the model and spin the model into 3 model. Select the models, rotate the models, and assemble the fan's model. Shift A to add the cube model, change the size to create the borders of the flange. Select all the models of the fans and move them to set them on the table. Adjust the fan's animation setting a bit. Select the blades and press I to insert the keyframe. Move to frame 200, rotate Y 5500 degrees, and then press I to insert a keyframe. Press the spacebar to play the animation. Shift A to add the plane's model to create the code. Click right and select subdivide, then change the numbers of cuts. Select cost. Select cell correlations and change the distance 0.005. Shift A to add the winds to produce the textures of the cloth. Adjust it slightly to adjust the wind. Play the spacebar to play the animation to see the animations of the cloth. Select the cloth, change the modifier, and apply the modifiers once the positions of the required cloth is obtained. Shift A to add the Cloth model to create the book. Hold Shift and select 3 face, then press P to select the selection. Add the solidified modifier to add the thickness. Resize the book covers to complete the model. Move the model and set it on the sofa. Dark one more scene and change one scene to the shader editor. Select the sofa and add a new material. Change the colors to what you like. Change the value in I or R. Shift A to add the noise textures and bump note. Place Ctrl T to add the mapping and texture coordinate. As the finished material for the cushions and copy materials. Change the color of the cushion. For the legs of the sofa, Shift A to add the wave textures and noise texture. Add the color lamp and connect it with the principal BSDF. Change the value in the texture node. As the finished materials, then replication is performed to facilitate the connection of nodes. Shift A to add the Voronoi texture. Shift A to add the wave textures to add the pattern for the table. as the color material for the fans model. As the color to the fans, the material used the same early tones to match. For the clothes placed on the sofa, copy the material of the sofa and then slightly adjust the value of the textures and color. As the color material for the floor. Shift A to add the area right and change the size and power. Change the color of the words to white. Shift it to copy the area right and set it on the sides. Copy and make a multiple angle layout to make the models wide and clear. Adjust the positions of the area right source at different angles. This is the whole contents of this video. If you have any questions or want to make another model, you can tell us in the comments below. This is an animation example of a fan. Finally, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you!